What if most people don't stay broke because they don't earn enough, but because they never leave space for wealth to exist? How can anything grow in a container that's already full? Two people earn the same income. One feels constantly behind, stressed, chasing the next paycheck. The other quietly builds assets, sleeps better, and barely talks about money. Same income, same economy, completely different outcome. The difference is simple. One lives at 100% consumption, the other protects a margin. You don't need extreme frugality, luck, or a huge salary. You need a calm, repeatable system that turns a protected margin into real assets through compound interest, basic financial education, and time. Today, I'll walk you through the quiet wealth system. 10 rules that explain how that margin works, why we keep sabotaging it, and how to turn it into long-term financial freedom without hype. If you're tired of working hard but feeling stuck, subscribe and comment Quiet Wealth so you remember this moment. We tell ourselves we'll save later, after the raise, after things calm down, after life gets easier. Later almost never arrives. Most of us secretly believe motivation creates progress. In reality, progress starts with constraint. When life consumes 100% of income, wealth building is impossible. It's like trying to plant seeds in concrete. Quiet wealth flips the order. We protect margin first and let everything else adjust. That margin becomes the space where an eventual investment system and compound interest can work. Spending shrinks to fit the container. Habits shift. Not because we turned into disciplined machines overnight, but because reality quietly forces adaptation. A man earning $70,000 once told me, "I can't save." When he committed to a 20% margin, life felt tighter for a few months, then clearer. The noise faded. For the first time, there was breathing room. Rule 1. Margin is not the reward for success. Margin is the condition that makes success possible. Visual. Jar labeled income. Version A filled to the top with tiny bills. Version B stops at 80%, leaving 20% clearly empty and glowing. Willpower at the end of a long day is unreliable, yet most financial plans depend on it. I'll just save what's left, and somehow nothing is left. Quiet wealth doesn't ask you to be stronger. It uses financial automation so you don't need to decide each month. Automated transfers move money from checking into your long-term accounts before impulse and fatigue show up. Studies consistently show that automated saving and investing increase consistency dramatically, not because people suddenly care more, but because friction disappears. Think of automation as gravity. Once the system is set, money flows into savings and investments whether you feel inspired, stressed, or bored. Over time, those automatic contributions feed your investment system, powering compound interest in the background. One woman tried budgets, challenges, and tracking apps. Nothing lasted. When she set a fixed automatic transfer the day after payday, she finally stopped negotiating with herself. Progress became quiet and predictable. Rule 2. If your margin depends on mood, it won't survive. Automate it. Most people think they're saving, but they're really just delaying consumption. The money already has a story. The next car, renovation, vacation, or lifestyle upgrade. When margin is mentally tagged as future spending, it eventually gets spent. Always. Quiet wealth treats margin as capital, not comfort. Through simple financial education, we reframe that surplus as raw material for assets, passive income, and eventual financial freedom, not as a reward to be cashed in. I know a couple who saved for years and stayed broke. Every few years, their savings graduated into upgrades, nicer car, bigger house, new furniture. The account balance went up and down, but net worth barely moved. Same income, same effort, no assets. When they reclassified margin as non-spendable and routed it directly into investments, things changed. Their lifestyle stayed stable, but their balance sheet didn't. Rule 3. If your margin has a spending story attached to it, it isn't margin. It's delayed lifestyle. Broke plans are complicated. Wealthy ones are boring. Many of us build elaborate setups, multiple apps, dozens of categories, color-coded spreadsheets. It feels intelligent. In real life, complexity creates friction, and friction leads to avoidance. Avoidance kills consistency, and without consistency, even the smartest investment system fails. Quiet wealth favors simple flows, a few clear accounts, one automatic path for margin. Clear rules like 20% leaves my checking every month into long-term investments. That simplicity respects how humans actually behave. A man once showed me his advanced structure, 12 accounts, constant optimizations, endless tweaks. He was exhausted. Money leaked everywhere. When he simplified to one margin account feeding one long-term wealth-building portfolio, progress finally stuck. Rule 4. If your system needs constant attention, it won't survive long enough for compound interest to matter. Everyone obsesses over returns. Very few respect time. People argue about 7% versus 10%, then abandon their plan after 18 months. That's like debating engine power and quitting the road trip halfway. Real wealth building uses compound interest and time together. A simple automated contribution, say $500 a month into a diversified portfolio, becomes powerful over decades, not months. The longer you stay invested, the more time does the heavy lifting. Delay is expensive. Miss the first 10 years and you lose more than half of what you could have had, even with the same returns. Not because the market was bad, but because the clock started late. Quiet wealth prioritizes staying in the game over looking clever in the game. It accepts that boredom is part of the process. Markets move, news cycles scream. The system keeps going. Rule 5. Time doesn't demand perfection. It demands that we stop quitting. Start at 25 versus start at 35, both contributing the same amount, showing a huge gap in ending net worth. Plans usually fail where identity begins. If we see ourselves as trying to save, every decision becomes negotiable. If we see ourselves as people who protect margin, the debate ends before it starts. Our money mindset quietly drives behavior. When identity aligns with the rules of the system, consistency stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like self-respect. In hard times, families who survived financially often shared one belief: we protect resources. That wasn't a tactic, it was identity. I once asked a woman how she finally stopped impulse spending. She didn't mention new apps or complex budgets. She said, "I'm not someone who spends my margin anymore." That shift changed how every purchase felt. Remember, systems beat discipline every single time. And the best system needs one place to live, where you can track your income, see your assets, understand your liabilities, and finally see your financial life with calm and honesty. That's why we're building the Trip to Wealth Command Center. It's shaped by your feedback, designed for real-life clarity, and launching soon. Join the early access list below to be one of the first to try it and lock in a launch discount. Now let's talk about Rule 6. When behavior aligns with who you believe you are, consistency becomes automatic, and your investment system finally has a chance to work long-term. Real progress rarely feels dramatic. That's why so many people abandon it. We're taught that success should look and feel loud: new car, new house, constant upgrades. If our plan doesn't create visible change quickly, we assume it's not working. Quiet wealth is different. The system runs, margin moves, investments grow. Life looks the same on the surface for a long time. Net worth changes before lifestyle does. A couple followed this path for years. No flashy purchases, no big reveals. Friends assumed they were stuck. Then pressure disappeared. Work became optional. They had real choices. From the outside, it looked sudden. It wasn't. It was slow, boring compounding finally becoming visible. Rule 7. If your wealth plan feels calm, even boring, that's often a sign it's working. Loud money feels good fast and collapses loudly. Quiet money compounds quietly. When money feels tight, most of us treat it as an emergency or a sign the plan is broken. We loosen rules, increase spending, or pause contributions, just for now. Quiet wealth treats stress as feedback. Discomfort appears when old habits hit new boundaries. That friction doesn't mean the system is wrong. It means something important is being revealed. Periods of constraint show us what truly matters. They expose subscriptions we don't care about, status purchases that add no happiness, and expectations that need updating. A man once told me his system wasn't working because it felt uncomfortable. Nothing in his numbers was failing. His old lifestyle assumptions were. Rule 8. When stress shows up, don't remove the system. Adjust behavior, expectations, or timelines. Let the feedback refine the plan instead of abandoning it. We worry about low income, bad markets, inflation. Those matter. But the bigger risk often shows up later when things finally feel comfortable. As progress builds and accounts grow, it's easy to relax the rules. One upgrade, one relaxed month, one justified splurge. Nothing dramatic, just slow erosion. Lifestyle creeps up to meet income. Margin shrinks. Contributions drop. The investment system quietly loses power. Think about the last time you got a raise. Did savings jump permanently, or did your lifestyle expand to fill the new space? That's the danger. Not a market crash, but standards rising faster than your net worth. I've watched people build solid momentum for years, then undo it gradually because the system stopped feeling necessary. Rule 9. Your future comfort is a bigger threat to wealth preservation than your current struggle. Guardrails exist to protect you from success as much as from crisis. If good intentions worked, most people would already be wealthy. We care, we plan, we promise ourselves we'll change, then life happens. Intentions don't survive emotion, stress, boredom, or success. That's why durable structures in every area of life rely on systems, laws, routines, schedules. Money is no different. Quiet wealth uses systems that assume we're human. Financial automation replaces discipline. Simplicity reduces decision fatigue. Identity shrinks daily negotiation. Guardrails protect margin from both panic and overconfidence. All of it feeds a calm, long-term investment system designed for decades, not weeks. A strong system doesn't ask how you feel today, it executes anyway. That's what allows compound interest, passive income, and long-term financial freedom to build quietly in the background. Rule 10. If your plan only works when you're motivated, it doesn't work. Quiet wealth doesn't start with earning more. It starts with protecting space. Margin comes first. We automate it so mood doesn't decide. We refuse to treat that margin as future spending and instead see it as capital. We keep our structure simple so real life doesn't break it. Then we give time a chance to work, letting compound interest and consistent contributions quietly grow our assets. We upgrade our identity and money mindset. We're people who protect margin. We accept that real progress feels uneventful. Boredom is a feature, not a bug. When stress appears, we read it as information and adjust behavior, not as a reason to tear up the plan. As things improve, we stay alert. Future comfort and lifestyle creep are real threats to wealth preservation. That's why we rely on systems, not intentions. You don't need perfection, dramatic moves, or constant excitement. You need a simple, automated, behavior-friendly investment system that survives moods, news cycles, and success long enough to deliver real financial freedom. That's the quiet wealth system. Most of us have spent years trying to feel successful instead of quietly becoming solvent. If this shifted how you see money, comment "quiet wealth" so you can come back to this when things get noisy again. You've now seen the philosophy. Protect margin, automate it, and let time work. The next step is practical. Where does that 20% actually go? Which accounts? Which assets? In what order? So your margin turns into real wealth building, passive income, and long-term security. If you want that step-by-step breakdown, make sure you're subscribed. In the next video, we'll map the exact asset path that fits this system, so you can move from theory to implementation without hype. And if you found value today, I highly recommend watching my next video. Feel free to leave your comment below. Remember, this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice. It is important to conduct thorough research and consult with financial professionals before making any investment decisions. The value of investments can fluctuate, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Always assess your risk tolerance and investment goals before allocating your capital. Until next time, stay consistent, stay patient, and stay winning. See you in the next one, Money Magician.